Hi guys, this is the Triumph Scrambler 900 and we're out here in the beautiful British countryside to see if it can do some scrambling. Of course it's got the knobbly wheels, it's got wire spoke wheels at the front there, 19-inch wheel, high slung exhaust, Carnival Red which is new for 2023, and we're asking the question, does this bike have enough in it to do the town riding, as it always can do, but then also jump on the byways and the green lanes when you're having a bit of fun on a weekend? So that's what we're here to do. We're going to just point around some of the bits on this bike now and just say what's it's all about, and then we can get out on the road and see if we can find some nice green lanes to enjoy. This one is the Carnival Red edition, as I say, and this one starts at £10,145. In jet black, it's a little bit cheaper at £9,745 or thereabouts. I wonder why it's so much more, because it's just the red tank that you see for this Carnival Red edition. There's nothing else different in this sort of higher spec model, and you're paying a little bit more of a premium for that. And you've seen, of course, the Speed Twin 900 that we had in a bit recently, so go and check that review out if you haven't already, but it's more expensive than that. So I'm wondering where that price is coming from. I mean, you're looking at the engine here, it's the same parallel twin motor, 270-degree crank, it's got 64 brake horsepower and 80 Newton meters of torque. And of course, having ridden it now, it's beautiful fun to ride. It's really snappy and responsive, and it does have that Scrambler feel. The seat height, 790mm, tank size is 12 litres, could be a little bit bigger, but does the job nicely. And you've got a nice little standard analog and LCD dash up here. Shows the numbers and everything you need really nicely. You can even flick the info mode to go into the revs and see that, as well as odometer, trip A, B, your average consumption, your instant consumption. It's all there basically, as well as the time. Elsewhere, brakes, 310mm at the front, nice and big, and then 255mm at the back. You've got a 4-piston Brembo caliper at the front with a Nissin master cylinder, which is bizarre, and then a Nissin rear disc. ABS is on there as well, and that nicely leads into the fact that there's 3 rider modes: road, rain, and off-road. Off-road will switch off the rear ABS and switch off the traction control, so you can go hooning about on the green lanes. And that's what I want to get doing. So let's go and get on the road, enjoy this, and beautiful weather for it. So let's go. Right then, let's get on the road. Let's go and enjoy the British countryside in this superb weather.
Cardo Connect.
Oh yeah, let's get some connection on the go. Then we can talk to each other. Brace for... Ooh.
Oh, you're already here?
Every time.
Oh wait, are you here?
Just said brace for and then dun dun dun. Dun. Oh, this is such a stunning bike. I just can't get over it. Just everything about it is just...
It is so nice. Both of them are so nice.
Yeah. What were we saying? That this could be the best duo of Triumphs that we've had, or bikes that we've had in?
I think so. As a pair, it's like both of them are just spot on.
Yeah, proper.
So far, I can't really fault either of them.
No, and of course they're going for different things, aren't they? So
yeah.
Beautiful. Right then, let's go search for some B-ways.
Nice.
Byways. Make sure that I'm not in off-road mode. Right, let's set off then. I think we go right from here and we'll just point our noses in this direction and we'll see what we can find.
Oopsie.
I mean, even just like instantly pulling away, the weight is like 223 kilograms dry.
Yeah.
But you can just flick it beneath you like so easily, like effortless.
It's so like when you're on the move, it feels so light. It's crazy. When you're stationary and you're moving it about, you kind of notice it, but
yeah,
when you're going, it's ridiculous. So agile, so agile.
Yeah, of course. These are the sort of roads I'd imagine if you've got a Scrambler, you're just going to be heading to this.
Yeah, dude.
Real backlane stuff, like single track lanes.
It's such a Sunday bike. I love that thing.
Yeah. And then naturally as well, because as we've both had these in, we've been commuting back and to and from work on the Bobber and the Scrambler respectively, and it just does that as well. You know, it's got 5 gears, but even in 5th gear when you're just cruising along 60-70 miles an hour, revs are just nice and low and just eats it up.
Yeah, it can be relatively economical as well if you're obviously always with economy. It depends on how you ride it, but if you keep those revs nice and low, I'm seeing sort of a good average of about 60-70 miles per gallon on my way home.
Oh, decent. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. So, and that's obviously keeping it nice and gentle, but
yeah, just nice and sensible. Yeah.
And when you're out on those 60 roads, it's nice and easy to maintain a steady pace.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're really conscious about the consumption of the fuel, and if you're taking it nice and steady, like flicking it into 5th and just, you know, even going down to 40 and then just speeding back up gently, it will do it. And the torquey motor doesn't really complain with that at all.
No.
I think you've summed it up perfectly. This is like a Sunday bike in this guise, because you can enjoy these roads, like the knobbly tyres, Metzeler Torrance. It doesn't have any like struggles on just normal roads, so you could happily just ride around town, city centre, and then at the weekend head out, and you're not worrying that you're on knobblies during the week and then sacrificing your off-road capabilities by taking them off. It's just, it handles everything super well.
As a like manufacturer original tyre, it's spot on. And like you say, out on the road you don't feel compromised. Even with that 19-inch front wheel, going into corners you feel like you can pretty much get your knee down.
Yeah, no, exactly. And even, you know, as you say, with that 19-inch front, the suspension feels really like poised for it as well. You've got 120mm travel front and rear, and even the seat height is 790. But your positioning on the bike feels like quite a command position. It's got a really wide bar on this one. It's like 50mm wider than the Speed Twin. 840mm, I think, is the width.
Yeah.
And you just, even like now, you're just sitting here cruising at sort of steady 30 to 40, and you just sat nice and upright, command position, arms out there. I think some people may say that the bar is a little bit too wide, but I think it's pretty perfect for me.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And I also think, just in connection to that ride position, the seat is very forgiving in that. The bench style seat, you can kind of position yourself almost any way you want on it. And you know, if you really want to be close to the tank, you can be, but equally you can kind of sit quite far back and almost cruising, you know, almost like the bar.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice and comfortable. And as I mentioned with the Speed Twin, and naturally, you know, these aren't comparable in terms of application, like a Scrambler and a Speed Twin, but they are both the Bonnevilles, and they of course share the same motor. But I just really like what Triumph have done with this motor. 64 brake horsepower is plenty for the road, and of course that's then A2 restrictable if you've got your A2 license.
Absolutely. But it's still got that torque, which means pulling power, low speed stuff is just, it feels so good.
Yeah, honestly.
It does start to peter out at the top end. I sort of did give it a good rap.
Yeah, I was then about to say, because you've got the 80 newton meters of torque and the pulling power from the get-go. You know, the throttle's nice and responsive, and you can just twist and go.
Yeah.
But then when you start to reach the red line on each gear, you do feel that it starts to sort of lack a little bit of power. But it doesn't feel like it's, you know, really struggling or anything like that. It just sort of peters out a little bit.
But by that same measure, say, you know, you are stepping up from something like A2, it's still going to feel more. And it definitely does feel like a powerful bike. And you can for sure get yourself into a bit of trouble with it.
With that torque as well.
I often find myself, with that torque, mate, if you're in 30-mile-an-hour sort of ranges, even first, second gear, it sits so low in the RPMs, you look down and, oh, shoot, you're doing 40.
Yeah,
Very easily done.
No, exactly that. And I suppose if you then wanted more power, you could just graduate to the 1200s.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think as well, it's kind of that thing I was saying,
Byway. I think that is a good Byway as well, actually.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Let's go there.
I think for most people, the 900 has plenty of power.
Exactly.
But if you are a bit of a power hungry person, like myself, the 1200 would probably be the one.
No, exactly. And that's the thing, because the 1200, you can get the real adventure spec, if you want to say that. You can go for the, you know, the full Olins and the... It's just a different bike entirely, and if you wanted to go for that, then you could.
But it does raise the question, like we were saying earlier, about the variants, right? So obviously the 1200 comes in many forms, with the XE and the XC. It does beg the question that if Triumph were to chuck out a Triumph Scrambler 900 XE or XC, I think that could be a real winner with the lower weight and the more user-friendly power, because off-road, that's plenty.
No, of course, and we're about to find out again on this little Byway here. But yeah, maybe we should keep an eye out when we go to EICMA this year. Head over to the Triumph stand and see if they're releasing a Scrambler 900 XE, XC edition.
Because you look at the rest of their range, you look at the Tigers, you look at anything like that, there's all kinds of variants. So it does beg the question, chuck us a 900 Scrambler XE, XC.
Yeah, we'll happily test it for you.
I'm going to just like back this up onto here. You forget how heavy this one is. Are you right just to squeeze up there?
Hang on. The weight. Cool. Right, well I'm in off-road mode, so I'm going to go and see what we can do. Still filming, yeah.
Hi Alex.
See you later.
There goes my boy. Well, he's gone. I can crack on with a bit of detailing work.
Sick! Oh, this thing's just so wild off-road. Even changing gear when you're standing up feels good.
Look at that.
The suspension is showing its sort of lack of control a little bit, but it still does the job.
Right, who's the real winner here? Alex hooning about with some green bangs or me staring at the chrome bobber?
So, does the Scrambler 900 do the scrambling part? Well, yes and no. It's certainly capable of a little squirt off the beaten path, and having one of these does open the doors to a gentle Sunday afternoon blasting down gentle byways. But that's the key thing here. Light and gentle byways in ideal weather. With the high-slung exhaust, semi-knobbly tyres and the signature torquey twin from Triumph, the basics are there for this to do a good job. And throw in the off-road modes to switch off the rear ABS and traction control, it does add to all of the off-road ability. The only drawbacks here are the not-so-adept suspension with just 120mm travel, and the riding position with a very hunched-over position for a taller rider, like myself at 6'3". Yeah, it will do it, but it begs the question, could there be a gap for the Scrambler 900 to have an XE variant, just as its bigger 1200 sibling does? A Scrambler 900 XE with spec'd-up suspension, greater travel with adjustment potential, and off-road focused parts could be a serious winner if the price doesn't find its way into the 1200 XE category. For 2024, the model is £13,295, 2023 is £12,695, and of course you can find older models for used prices much cheaper. But for the most part, I'd imagine many owners will be happy to have the ability to pick a gentle trail if they want it, with that stunning Scrambler style and finish. And overall, this bike is great fun to ride on the roads, and having that opportunity to ride off-road is always a welcome one.